Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the invitation. So I'm honored to be here. So from the talk of Professor Shi, we saw how to create conditions to have new ideas and how to disseminate them and how to grow in our career. I was asked by Professor Zsombor to present a 20-minute talk about this is the latest point. Okay, I think I'll show you this. Okay, hello. Yeah, hello, yes. So let's see, the laser pointer would be this one. Yeah, okay. About this title. So this is basically that you already have the, right? Right? Yes, sugar. Yes. Sorry. So you already have the idea how to proceed. So and you have an idea, you think that it can make money, it can make big impact. Okay? So how to make a patent and how to proceed. Let's see. Oh, it should work, yeah? Actually it doesn't. I use the computer. How would that? Okay. And now it works. That's it. Yes, okay. Thank you, Howard. Okay, so that's the title page. And my talk will be about my American and Swedish experiences. I have 3 Swedish patents and 6 US. Okay, so first of all, a few words about the evolution of inventions. Okay, that can be unique, but roughly this is the way how invention evolved. So first, of course, you have the research idea. Research idea, yes. Okay, I mean, research idea. Well, I don't want to tell me. Let's repeat. Then, if it is some practical stuff, then you need the experimental verification. Then, if you want to industrialize it, you want to make money out of it, then you need first a patent disclosure. Patent disclosure means that you will have a timestamp. So you will write up your idea, and at a certain agency you will record this, okay? Register this. This is nothing else, it's just a timestamp that at this time, today, you had this idea. So you are the first, okay? Then the question comes to publication, because we are working at universities, you want to disseminate your results, so can you publish it? Now, if you are in the US, and if you want to just have a US patent, you can publish the idea, okay? But if you want to have international patents, like many other countries, if you publish, you kill it. So first you have to actually patent it, and then you can publish. So patent applications means that you will use certain expertise of lawyers, patent lawyers, and patent bureaucrats, whatever, to write up the patent. You pay a lot of money, or they pay, to submit the patent, and then there will be reviewers, maybe potentially changes, and if you are lucky, then the patent will be granted. Okay? Then you have a patent. Now the next step is to have a research and development for the proof of practical demo. You already may have some proof, laboratory proof of the idea that it works, but now you will have something which would prove that it will work in the practice to make money. Okay? Then that's good to be shown to the industry, and so if you are lucky, then industry will pop up and they want to license your patent. Okay? Then they want to produce with it, and then next step will be that then it will be research and development for a marketable product. Okay, that's much more than just the proof of practical demo. Okay. And then the last step is producing and selling the product is not your job. Okay, how would this works? Okay. So now the question is, how can the system help you? Each university has such an office. Let's call it technology licensing office in our case. They have experts there, and they will help you to realize your idea in a patentable form. And there is a list which the TLO, the Technical License Office, can help you. IP protection, intellectual property protection and patent filing. Commercialization strategy, okay? They are the experts. And you need this kind of help because there are sharks out. A lot of con artists, so you would be alone otherwise. But negotiation and licensing, same thing, you will need them. Now, if you have to work out the patent, to have a demo, practical demo, then you may have some grants and funding support, okay? And they can help you with that. And finally, the ongoing relationship management, when the license is executed and after, they can keep communicating in the industry and protect your rights. Okay, so let's see what is the situation in the Texas CM system. If you have a patent, so how is the profit shared after all the costs are paid out? Like say, international patent could like $50,000, okay? The university this office would pay for that one. And then first, of course, this money has to be paid back to the office, okay? So after all the costs are removed, so paid back, then comes the profit. So 37.5% comes to the inventor. Actually, this is shrinking. Okay, it was when I got there 20 years ago. It was like 45%. Now it's 37.5. It's still significant. Okay. Also, your department or your school will get the same amount of money, and 25% goes to the Office of Technology Commercialization. So they are really motivated to make out something from your patent because it's a big money, if the money is big, okay? Okay, then, see. Anyway, this one. Now, there is one thing, not to discourage you, but I have to tell you, it's the so-called 100 rule. I was told by these officers. The basic rule is that, on the average, 100 patent disclosures will make one patent, 100 patents get one licensed, and 100 licensed patents will make big money. Okay? Now this is, 100 to the third power is 1 million. So it's like a lottery. I have a big idea, I think I will change the world. Don't stuck with it. Okay, start it, patent it, whatever, and work on the next idea. Because it's like a lottery. So I have several friends and colleagues who had some great idea, and they spend their life running after this idea, trying to get money, industry, investors, I mean, it's called entrepreneur, to pay for their ideas, and never got out anything. I don't know any of them who actually succeeded. But they themselves spend a lot of money from doing this. Yes? So don't stuck. Just consider it like a lottery and proceed, because the joy of invention is the real thing for you. Yeah. Okay, now I mentioned that there could be research and development support. Example, the government also has with this. It's called, for example, this is called SBIR grants. Small Business Innovation Research Grants. Several governmental agencies have that, like Air Force, Army Research Office, NIH. So that means that you can apply for different phases. I mean, you have to start with phase one. You join with a business, typically small business, to apply for this money. And they get this money, it could be from 50K to 275K, it depends on the range, depends on the agency. And you can have at most 30% of that. The faculty member can have 30% of this money, and the rest is used by the industry. The industry very often tries to give you less, but then you don't negotiate with them, just you go to the other industry if you can find one. Okay? I have several of these ones, and I have experience with that one. The next step would be the phase two. Now that's much more serious. Okay, that would be really a product which is almost marketable. It's not yet. Okay, then the third project would be which is marketing. So that basically for us is the phase 1, phase 2 is the issue. Phase 2 is difficult to get. And you need a successful phase 1 after that, before that, let's say.
Yeah.
Okay, now, in the last part, I will show you one of my patents. I had 26 patent disclosures, and the 100 rule didn't work with me because I have 9 patents, actually 11, depending on how do I count, because there are so-called provisional patents. I didn't count them. Provisional patents means that you have a great idea, and it's not obvious who will pay for the patent, because these tax offices, they try to get the money, so they don't want to waste the money. So there is an idea, they believe in it, so then they create a provisional patent. It's a few $1,000s, it's not too expensive, and this is valid for 1 year. So your rights are defended for this 1 year, and they go out to industries to help to assist, promote to industries to come here, and if you want, you can license it, okay? After 1 year, they just forget it. So I had recently 2 of such, actually. Otherwise, like Navy was sponsoring it. So that is, typically you have to find something which is who sponsors the making the patent, because these technology offices, they really want to have their money back. Not always. There was one patent, as I will show that one, it's A11. It's about, okay, event. The scene went away. Okay, I have it here. Yeah. So that was about from the bacterium detection and identification. You know, if you have some bacteria in you and they do make a sample out or whatever, it depends on. But for a serious thing, you need like 24 hours at least to culture the bacteria and then detect them. Good. Now this was here a few minutes to do the same thing, and the university believed so much in it that they paid patents. Yeah. But it still didn't make money. I never had any money patent which really made this so-called big money, but it's less than 1 million. So it's not surprising. Okay. So let's see. I want to illustrate this how does it work with a movie, very short movie. Gabor, how to switch this off? Yeah, escape. Yeah, use the escape. Okay. And then, because I want to come back here. How can I access this? Sorry. I'm using Apple computer, so I didn't embed the movie, because I know that doesn't work if you come to the PC. Which one? Okay. Oh, I started, and after I want to return here. Okay. So let's see. So this is what you see here is a movie about bacteriophages. They are viruses, much smaller than the bacterium itself. They are the enemies of bacteria. The phage is like 5 times smaller. This is a phage for the E. coli bacterium. If you land on the surface of the bacterium, there's the E. coli there. Okay, this E. coli. Then it will drill a hole, chemically speaking, on the bacterium membrane and injects its DNA in the bacterium. From that moment, the bacterium becomes a factory to produce phages. And like an hour later, it explodes, and like thousands of these phages will come out. It's like an alien movie, but there we had only just one alien came out from the guy. It is like thousands. Okay? But we are not interested in that part, because we're interested in this to wait 1 hour. That's too long for us. We are interested to capture the moment when the hole is drilled, so drilled into the bacteria. Okay? And the idea is on this other movie. Does it start? Oh, start, okay. Okay, fine. Here it is. Yep. So here is the, you can see the phage up there, and here's the bacterium, the E. coli, okay? So the bacteria phage goes there is a hole, and a lot of ions are coming out, basically salty water. The membrane potential is discharged. And then the random fluctuations how these ions, salty water, ions, magnesium, whatever, natrium, ions diffuse around it, anyway, yes, and disappeared. But anyway, there was at the bottom, there were 2 titanium electrodes. And if you have learned what is a concentration battery is that you have the same metal 2 times in an electrolyte with different concentrations. The normal batteries that you have, they have 2 different metals in the electrolyte with the same concentration. Okay. But in this case, you have the concentration battery. So the concentration is different because the ions are coming out. So electrolyte concentration will fluctuate. So there will be a strong noise, electrical noise between these 2 electrodes. So how do I return out to the presentation? And that oh, thanks. Yeah. And that can be measured. Yeah, thanks. Please. Okay. Now we published this, and it got featured in the Economist magazine. I don't know what if it's important or not, but when I sent this email, informed my head of department, and he said that it popped up in my door, and said, László, economist? I said, yes, why? And he said, because it's like 2 million copies anyway. But still didn't make money, but it makes some use. So a lot of con artists and other people came, companies, they want to use it, but none of them had the money and the interest really to develop it. So they come to you that they believe that it's already working, I can sell it, I take it to you, I can sell it for, no. There's RD, research and development. Anyway, so let's continue, okay? And we had a few publications after that, okay? And so, okay, and then last thing I want to show, because I didn't show you yet the results. So, as you see, here you see the electrical strength of electrical noise between these 2 electrodes. Okay? It's like they are like 4 square micron size electrodes near to each other, like 0.2 micron distance. Okay? And basically what you see, this is the baseline, there's a control experiment. When we take the bacterium, the E. coli bacterium, which is actually resistant against this phage, is genetically modified bacterium. It's from the laboratory of Dr. Ryder. Okay. And as you see, nothing happens. We still the background, we see the background strength of the fluctuations, low change. But when we used it with the real E. coli, which is not genetically modified, then, okay, we start with the baseline also. But in 1 minute already we have 10 times higher signal than the baseline. And in 2 minutes we have like 1,000, but a few thousand times larger signal than the baseline. Okay? So that height was the demonstration. Okay? So I think it's a great idea, but still didn't get big money. It's not 1 million, okay? And let's see. Yeah. Okay, and finally, that's the end of my talk. It's a very good example. Bob Beer, my senior colleague, he died a few years ago. He was an adjunct professor, like honorary professor in our department, but he's always was working always in the industry. He has 62 patents at Texas Instrument and elsewhere. And only 3 of these 62 patents made money. Only 3. All the other 59 patents were made due to the corporate planning. Every year corporations have a planning what we will discover next year, what we will develop next year. Okay. Those 59 patents were based on those, never made any money. Okay. But these 3 ones, they were not planned. They came like, oh, we were at the lunch, we discussed, some crazy idea came, oh yes, if in the silicon, if the conduction band minimum would be above the valence band maximum, then it would be direct transition of electrons, so it would emit light. But they are not, they are separate positions. Oh, but in gallium arsenide, they are there. So the minimum is here and the maximum of the valence band is below it. So it would emit light. It's a crazy idea. So let's test. Let's go to the lab after lunch, after coffee, then went to the lab and test it. And some extremely weak light came out, and it's infrared. so they had to measure it. They thought, oh, this useless, complete, but interesting effect. But okay, let's make a patent for our resume. It looks nice. So they made a patent, like 1959 or so. So they were the first one who invented the light-emitting diode. Unfortunately, it was infrared, so they didn't get the Nobel Prize. Somebody, a year or 2 years later, got the Nobel Prize because this was visible light, okay? So, and his other two patents was also similar. The ROM, the reading-only memory, there's a memory, MOS memory, from which your computer starts up. When you switch on your computer, there is a small memory with startup information. Yes? It's hardware. They did discover that one. They didn't know that it would ever be computers, actually. That was already 60 end of 50s. And the shortcut clamp TTL, which was making early money in the 70s, increasing the transistor logic speed factor of 2.5. Okay? So what is the conclusion here? First conclusion is that try to relax, okay? That all these planned discoveries, you write a grand, I discovered this, probably they won't work. I mean, you have to do it, get the money, and do some interesting research, but don't be disappointed if you don't get some big breakthrough. It comes to relaxation, go to the tennis court and play tennis, and maybe you get some idea. Yeah. Then, okay, final question. How much money did Bob? Okay, these patents need hundreds of millions of dollars that time. Now it will be tens of billions of dollars, $2 to $3 price. Okay, how much money he got for these patents? Any guess? That's like $10 billion here. How much money should I get for a patent?
Some public too.
Okay. Any other guess? It's closer. But that would be unfair. Yes, that would be unfair. Even $500K would. He got a very nice diploma and $1, symbolic price. Because if you work at the corporation, then your soul is possessed by the corporation. Thank you very much. That was my talk. Anyway, as an
Thank you very much. It was really nice, and I think that I've learned something that I did not expect today, and this is just this systematic generation of the ideas. And if someone stays as a researcher, this is our job. We do not need to worry about money and whatever. We just need to worry about generating the next idea, and it might become a success, and we need to trust in ourselves and in the system. So for me, this was a very nice insight. Thank you very much for delivering that. And we have some time for questions. So I'm looking at you. And we had a very brave student who asked a question. And you are brave again. Very good.
Hello. What's your favorite patent that you have? Which patent was your favorite?
which patent?
Yeah, your favorite.
Secure communication. Because I need that. Secure communication. Using thermal noise for unconditional secure communications. But okay, didn't make any money. But we are still trying to change the situation in the U.S. because under the Biden administration, the research of unconditional security and application of unconditional security was abandoned. So NIH declared on the website that they are not interested in unconditional secure schemes. So they are not interested in quantum encryption either, but they're interested in post-quantum encryption, post-quantum, which indicates like, oh, it will be better than quantum. No, post-quantum is not unconditionally secure. It is some software solution, okay? And then some corporations, they are trying to lobby to change this now. So that, because otherwise, China is leading, also in Europe, there are unconditionally secure quantum networks to satellites. US is zero about that. So that should be changed because conditional security means that it can be broken anytime. that needs some good idea to how to pack it. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. More questions? Okay.
Thank you. I would like to ask the question whether what would you recommend, like applying for a patent in Europe or US, as I believe those are like different, have the different validity, like the EU patent has a validity in EU, as I remember correctly. So what is your advice? Because this is I think a problem that you can apply for national patent in Europe, then you can apply for European patent, as I remember, and also there is an institution in the US for patents. So that's my question.
So the problem is that it's a marketing question. So if you apply for a European patent here and it works, you start to make money, then they will copy in US freely, and there's a very big market, and they will sell it, and they will export. Okay, they cannot export it to here because it's patented here, but they can export the rest of the world. So basically, really question is what is the need for the patent? So, I mean, we always try with the US world because it's like large enough. But again, the problem is that if it is patented there, and Europe they will copy it, then they can make it and they can feed the rest of the world with the product. So actually, the best is patent everywhere, and that may take $1 million or something. So it's a completely different situation. Back in the 1940s, 30s, there was a famous Hungarian physicist who became famous after he died, Leo Szilard. See, Leo Szilard, he had a lot of ideas, and he was patented. He wrote a lot of patents. It was like a few cents to write a patent. Today it's much more difficult. So he, for example, he wrote up the patent of the nuclear bomb in 1933 or so. And okay, he was correct, except that he didn't know that the uranium is the metal. He used some other material in that. And then what he did, he donated to the UK Navy in the UK. They were laughing, but they had to accept it. But later, he and Fermi together got the patent for US patent for the nuclear reactor. So at the end of the day, it worked out for him a little bit. Oh, but didn't get any money for it because they had to offer it to the US government. But at least he had the fame.
Okay, thank you. I think that we have to move on due to the time, but a big applause. Thank you very much.
Thank you.